traffic and weather together on the ones, and with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports, here's Christine Langos.
And this report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Still a busy drive on most of our major routes because of plows and salters taking up some lanes, but otherwise volume in general is lighter than usual, so perhaps a lot of people did decide to stay home today. Eastbound 401 is heavy from James Snow to Mississauga Road, and on the eastbound 401 at Islington in the Express, we have a stalled vehicle now blocking the right lane. A tow is on scene. And the eastbound 401 ramp to northbound 404, that's now blocked because of a collision. We have emergency crews on scene. On the westbound 401, you'll find it heavy going from approaching Harmony to Thixon. Problems westbound 401 at Salem have been cleared away. Westbound 401 at Brimley in the collectors, stalled vehicle in the right lane. Tows are here, and it's slow from McCowan, mainly in the collectors. It's also busy still from the 404 to Kiel, alternately express and collectors, and slow in the west end from approaching here Ontario to west of Mavis. Northbound Don Valley Parkway is slow going from north of Bayview Bloor to York Mills. Problems north of Don Mills now over on the shoulder. Not a bad drive on the westbound Gardner in terms of volume. People are adjusting their speed accordingly, it looks like. Eastbound Gardner is heavy from Jarvis to Cherry. I'm hearing now that Albion and Carrier, all lanes have been reopened following an earlier police investigation. May still find eastbound Finch at Don Mills left turn lane blocked with a collision. 407 ETR saves drivers 30 million hours of time each year, giving you more time for the things that matter most to you. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report is at 4:11, and now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Well, many of us across the GTA, Christine, are seeing either some light or moderate snowfall. It is going to continue to fall from the sky over the next 5 to about 7 hours. Hence the reason why we have a snowfall warning in effect. And by the time the storm system exits the GTA, we could see 20 centimeters of snow on the ground. Overnight, some pockets of warm air may move in, and we could see some snow flurries, become some rain showers, and we'll see a low temperature dip down by another couple of degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, it's -3. Our overnight low is -5.
680 news time, 4:03.
It's a perfect day to pack on the layers, maybe even build a snowman, pull out the toboggan. Not the best day, though, to be out on the road. Southern Ontario.
time 411.
Traffic and weather together on the ones, giving you the 411 on the 401 and all those other snowy highways. Christine Langos.
This report is brought to you by Enercare. The 404, the 403, the 427, they're all topped off with snow and in some areas slush and ice, so please drive according to the conditions today. That means slower and more cautiously. Eastbound 401 at Trafalgar, now we have a crash blocking the right lane. It's already busy approaching Mississauga Road to Mavis, and there's still this stalled vehicle eastbound 401 at Islington in the express. Right lane is blocked here, a tow is on scene. And the eastbound 401 ramp to now northbound 404, we had some lanes blocked here because of a crash as well. And on the westbound side, westbound 401 is slow from McCowan over to Brimley, where in the collectors we had a stalled vehicle blocking the right lane. Again, we have tows on scene. They were very, very busy today. Westbound 401, a bit busy still from the 404 to Kiel, alternately express and collectors. It's slow in sections, but volume is starting to lighten up. It looks like motorists are heading home. Westbound 401 is busy approaching here, Ontario collectors to west of Mavis. Having a look at the northbound Don Valley Parkway, and we had problems northbound DVP north of Don Mills over on the right shoulder. It looks like they finally may have gotten off the highway, but it's heavy going from approaching Don Mills to York Mills. Southbound Don Valley Parkway slows from the 401 to south of Lawrence. Heading out of downtown, westbound Gardner is busy at spots, but really not too bad. It looks like it's moving pretty well considering the conditions we have on the Gardner, which is very slippery. Eastbound Gardner is heavy from Jarvis to Cherry through that long-term construction. And as you've been hearing, if you're near a hill or trying to get up one, it may take you a while. If you could do it and you have your snow tires on, the person in front of you might not be able to. Could be a bus or someone who hasn't changed their tires yet. So northbound Bathurst, north of Davenport is affected. Northbound Avenue Road, climbing up that hill approaching St. Clair, that's also a slow go. And northbound Bayview Extension, north of Pottery Road, buses can make it up that hill. Call the HVAC Whisperers at Enercare. Don't pay until summer or get up to $22.50 in discounts and rebates. No one understands your heating system better. Terms and conditions apply. Your next report at 421. Now with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
Well, Christine, the reason why you can't get up the highway is because of all of that snow that is on the ground and continues to fall across the GTA. We're going to have to deal with this for at least the next 12 hours or so. As a matter of fact, there might be a warm pocket of air that could impact the city of Toronto.
City News Time 421, checking your drive on this snowy Saturday. Christine Lingos.
This report is brought to you by Alternate Savings. Thank you, Asher. I'm just having a look at a camera on the northbound Don Valley Parkway, and there's a big chunk of ice on the camera. It just slowly slid right down, and I thought, that's probably how the roads feel right now, unfortunately. So please take your time, drive carefully. We've been telling you, eastbound 401 at Trafalgar, the right lane is blocked with a collision, and it's busy in general eastbound 401 approaching Mississauga Road to Mavis. At Islington in the Express, it looks like problems have been cleared away and all lanes have been reopened. And westbound 401 at Brimley in the collectors, that stalled vehicle has been cleared out of the way, but still we have volume through that area. Westbound 401 approaching Broad Street to Salem is quite slow. The northbound Eglinton on-ramp to the northbound Don Valley Parkway is partially blocked because of this severe snowfall in this area. And also, as a traffic spotter noted, we have plows sending some of that snow onto on and off ramps on the GTA, around the GTA. So I'm getting word that we have cars stuck in these kindly newly formed snowbanks that are the off and on ramps. Again, just drive cautiously and keep an eye out for them. Westbound Gardner, no troubles. Westbound QEW is heavy from the Ford plant to west of Trafalgar. Northbound Bathurst, north of Davenport, we have buses trying to make it up the hill, as we've been telling you this afternoon. And McCowan still blocked north of Ellesmere at Town Center Court. Saving for retirement doesn't have to be scary. Talk to an advisor at Alterna Savings about the best plan for you. Visit alterna.ca to book an appointment. Alterna Savings. Discover the good in banking. Your next report is at 4:31. Now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Well, Christine, we are still under a snowfall warning across the GTA. The reason why is because we still have some pretty moderate to heavy snow showers that continue to fall across our area. Some of the heaviest snow bands are continuing near the city of Toronto right now. And one of the things that I do want folks to keep a very watchful eye on is the condition of the roads. You just heard Christine talk about some of the slick spots, and I do think over the next couple of hours we will continue to see some of that precipitation that has fallen turn into some black ice. So if you have any outdoor plans tonight, maybe you have a late night date, just be careful there on the roads. Now, over the next couple of hours, I'm watching a warm piece of air that's making its way right now over the city of Buffalo that may likely
the bane of our existence today. They're extra slippery, and we have buses trying to get up and down hills on city streets and not being able to do so. People stuck in back of them have been waiting for hours in some cases. Michelle, back to you.
Now, Christine, air travel also problematic today. Toronto Pearson International Airport reporting 10 cancellations, 20 delays at this time. We have seen that number higher earlier today. 680 meteorologist Jason Fraser says the storm will taper off late evening.
The snow will continue on and off again, and we'll also see the winds continue to gust up anywhere between 30 to 60 kilometers per hour.
Reporting live on this first major snowstorm of 2020, I'm Michelle Mackey, 680 News Time, 4:36. And we have an update now on a very snowy situation in Newfoundland. The Canadian Armed Forces being called in to help that province dig out from a record-breaking blizzard. The Premier making the announcement a short time ago.
And we have said yes to that request. At the moment, the ministers responsible, Ministers Blair and Sachin, are in the air. We wanted to take the opportunity to get here in front of you to let you know that we have acted immediately and we're working on deploying resources on the ground presently.
The blizzard has brought as much as 70 centimeters of snow.
680 News Time, 4:37. Breaking news from Buckingham Palace. Harry and Meghan officially are out as working members of the royal family. So what exactly does this mean? 680's Meg Black has an idea. She joins us.
weather together on the ones. Here's Christine Langos.
And this report is brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover. I'm just having a look at the northbound Don Valley Parkway where we still have problems with a stalled vehicle. And now it's over on the shoulder, or rather the snowbank over to the right. So northbound Don Valley Parkway is heavy from approaching Don Mills to York Mills, past this problem north of Don Mills. Problems northbound on the 404 at Aurora Road have been cleaned out of the way. But it's a slow go on the 404, anywhere between the 407 and the 401 both ways. We did have plows here earlier, so it looks like they've left a residual delay. Eastbound 401 is slowed down through James Snow Parkway. On the eastbound 401 at Trafalgar, a collision in the right lane. And it's busy approaching Mississauga Road to Mavis, is linked into Weston Express and Collectors, and looks busy still from Yonge to Markham Road, alternately Express and Collectors. Just be prepared today. Give yourself lots of extra time. Westbound 401 is slow west of Salem, and in the west end we have delays west of Highway 25, so westbound 401 in a bit better shape than eastbound. Southbound 404 Don Valley is slow from the 401 to south of Lawrence, and we have delays from south of Eglinton to south of Don Mills as well. The Gardner Expressway is still not in bad shape traveling into or out of downtown in terms of delays. Everyone's being pretty cautious here, so we don't have any collisions. Westbound QEW is heavy from 3rd to west of Bronte. We have lots of areas where we have vehicles stuck on hills, northbound Bathurst, north of Davenport, northbound Avenue Road approaching St. Clair, northbound Bayview Extension, north of Pottery. Buses can't make it up that hill. And a traffic spotter also let me know eastbound King approaching Weston is becoming problematic. If winter were a show, Range Rover Sport would give you front row tickets, delivering outstanding performance on offers. Your next report is at 4:51. Now with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
Right now, many areas of the GTA are seeing either flurries or some moderate snow falling across the region. This is going to stay that way for at least the next 5 to about 6 hours. This is all part of a massive storm that extends from Ottawa down to Houston, Texas. And one of the interesting things that's going to happen later on tonight that I'm watching is there is a very warm pocket of air moving over Buffalo that may end up extending into our area. And the reason why I highlight that is because we might end up seeing in the city of Toronto some of those snow showers turn into some rain showers, and that's definitely going to make things slushy as well as slick across the GTA. Now tomorrow we could end up seeing another batch of snow showers move across the region, and we could end up getting about another 2 to about 5 centimeters of snowfall. We'll see a high temperature tomorrow around -6 degrees. Right now it's -2 at Pearson. Our overnight low is -5.
Still to come on 680 News, the latest headlines and sports. 680 News Time, 4:44. 6:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Christine Langos.
This report is brought to you by Queen Smith MBA in Toronto. Unfortunately, it's still pretty hectic on most of our major routes, although volume is light. The conditions are just dreadful today. Eastbound 401 is heavy approaching Highway 25 to east of Jamestown, and then eastbound 401 at Trafalgar. We had a collision in the right lane. It continues busy on the eastbound 401 from approaching Mississauga Road towards Mavis, and eastbound 401 is busy from about Kiel off and on to Nielsen Road, alternately Express and Collectors. So definitely some gaps along the way, but it's a heavy drive. Westbound 401 is slow from here, Ontario to west of Mavis, and there's a bunch of west of Wellfline as well. On the northbound Don Valley Parkway north of Don Mills, we have a stalled vehicle. Now they blocked off the right lane again. Now the tow trucks have arrived on scene. It's heavy going from approaching Don Mills to York Mills on the northbound Don Valley 404. And on the 404 between the 407 and the 401, we had quite a bit of volume. It's easing in spots, but it looks like we still have plows traveling along that route. Southbound 404 Don Valley is heavy from the 401 to south of Lawrence and busy south of Don Mills. Westbound QEW is slow from Bronte to Walkers. And on the eastbound QEW at Walkers, we had a crash blocking the right lane. Looks like they have cleared it out of the way, fortunately. On the southbound 427 approaching Dundas in the Collectors, there's a spun out vehicle. It's over on the shoulder. Earn your MBA from Queen's Smith School of Business right here in Toronto. Find out more at smithmbaintoronto.com. Your next report is at 5:01. And now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Well, right now across the GTA right now, Christine, we continue to have a snowfall warning, and part of the reason why is because we're anticipating some moderate to heavy snowfall continuing over the course of the next couple of hours. We could end up seeing between 15 and 20 centimeters of some heavy snow. That's going to reduce visibilities. Already, we have seen visibilities cut down at Pearson International to about 1 kilometer, and we continue to see the winds gusting around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. We could end up seeing later on tonight winds gusting to about 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. Overnight, we could also see some warmer air push across the GTA, particularly in the city of Toronto, and that could force some of these snow showers to melt and turn into some rain showers overnight. Now, for tomorrow, we're going to start out with lots of clouds. We could see some flurries and upwards of 5 centimeters possible. We'll be warmer in the morning with a temperature around +1 degree, but by the afternoon time, we're going to cool down to around -6. And Monday, that's when we'll finally see the sun return, and we'll see a high temperature of -3. Right now in Pearson, it's -1. The overnight low is -5.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Urosec Cream and Lotion. Is winter weather irritating your skin? Urosec Cream and Lotion will provide temporary relief for rough, cracked, dry skin. Available at your local pharmacy. Visit the website at urosec.com. To be sure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label.
Coming up at 5 o'clock, our top story, the weather, snow, and lots of it. We're on track for the biggest snowfall we've had so far this winter. Some areas could get up to 20 centimeters of snow. As you've been hearing in our traffic reports, the roads are messy. And if you're flying somewhere, hopefully warm and sunny, call ahead because there have been some delays and cancellations at Pearson Airport.
680 News Time, 4:54.
Welcome.
Here's what's making news this hour. Heavy snow and strong wind.
The snowfall will be in effect for pretty much the entire GTA.
Winter is back and the Extreme Weather Center is open. A groundbreaking day in the UK. Prince Harry and Meghan are no longer working members of the royal family. The union representing elementary school teachers across the province announcing its latest round of rotating strikes impacting more school boards on Thursday.
We are just hours away.
I look forward to my triumphant return.
Conor McGregor back in the octagon to fight the legend himself, Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
The Blue Jays are busy with Winterfest today, while the Leafs and Raptors will both play tonight. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, if you're having trouble sleeping, you're not the only one. Experts say that can lead to a drop in productivity at the workplace, among other possible issues. 680 News Time 5:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones with Toronto's most frequent traffic reports. Here's Christine Langos.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Still a number of problems on the major routes around the GTA. One big one is northbound Don Valley Parkway north of Don Mills. We have a disabled vehicle over on the shoulder and a couple of tow trucks on scene, so they've blocked off the right lane as well. And northbound Don Valley Parkway is slow from approaching Don Mills to north of it and from Eglinton to York Mills. The usual delay southbound on the 404 Don Valley over the 401 to south of Lawrence, and it looks slow south of Don Mills and towards the bottom end onto the Gardner Expressway. We had plows traveling this way earlier, so that's probably the reason for the delay on the southbound DVP as you approach the Gardner. No problems on the westbound Gardner itself. However, westbound QEW is still busy from Bronte to Walkers, and eastbound QEW at Walkers problems have been cleared away. Southbound 427 approaching Dundas. In the collectors, there's a spun out vehicle on the shoulder, causing a bit of a visual distraction. We also have problems now westbound 401 at Morningside in the transfer to the collectors. The right lane is blocked. And westbound 401 at Yonge in the Express, the collision in the left lane. Emergency crews are now on scene. 407 ETR drivers say they save 20 to 60 minutes per trip. 407 ETR manages traffic for an excellent driving experience. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report is at 5:11. And now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Well, right now at Pearson, it's -1, but it feels closer to -6, and that's all because of that east-southeast wind that's gusting up to 34 kilometers per hour. Overnight, we could continue to see those winds gusting near 50 kilometers per hour. The other thing that you're going to notice is the snow that continues to fall. By the time the system that's causing all of the snow exits our region, we could see anywhere between 10 to about 20 centimeters of snow on the ground. That is why we continue to have a snowfall warning for the entire GTA. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
680 news time, 5:03.
It's a winter wonderland, which is great to look at from inside your home, all dry and toasty, but not if you have to be somewhere anytime soon. The 680 News Extreme Weather Center is open with snowfall warnings in place all across southern Ontario.
The Extreme Weather Center is brought to you by Air Transat. Vacation is calling. 680's Michelle Mackey has the snowy details.
With a total of 10 to 20 centimeters of snow expected by the day's end, the City of Toronto reminding residents there are 9,500 streets in Toronto, and expressways, main roads, and transit routes are cleared first, followed by neighborhood roads. Eric Holmes with the City of Toronto says drivers need to practice their patience.
We've got 200 salt trucks available to us, and all of our staff are available too. We've got about 1,500 workers, about 1,100 pieces of equipment in total.
680 meteorologist Jason Fraser says the storm will taper off through the overnight.
The snow will continue on and off again, and we'll also see the winds continue to gust up anywhere between 30 to 60 kilometers per hour.
Wind and snow means reduced visibility on the road. Good idea? Just stay inside. I'm Michelle Mackey.
680 News Time, 5:04. The Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador.
falling snow because we could see some winds gusting upwards of 70 kilometers per hour overnight, but we could also see some warm air that moves across the city of Toronto, and that would basically turn some of these snow showers into rain showers. We're going to see a low temperature dip down by another couple of degrees, and for tomorrow, we're going to see lots of cloud cover, and we could even see some lake effect flurries develop. Another 2 to 5 centimeters is possible. We'll see a warm temperature in the morning of +1 degrees, but we'll go down to about -6 by the afternoon time. Right now at Pearson, it's -1. Our overnight low is -5.
680 news time, 5:13.
A teenager has had his license suspended after he was nabbed for allegedly speeding not once, but twice in the same evening. Ontario Provincial Police say an 18-year-old was first stopped in the Niagara area after he reportedly told officers he was speeding because he was late for his curfew. Just a few hours later, he was pulled over yet again, this time near Burlington, for driving 188 kilometers an hour. I guess his curfew was far away. Police say his driver's license has been taken away for a week. Your top stories and a look at sports straight ahead.
next report is brought to you by Alterna Savings. On the eastbound 401, we have delays through James Snow Parkway to Trafalgar from Mississauga Road to Mavis, and it's still slow from Yonge off and on to Nielsen Road, alternately Express and Collectors. And problems westbound 401 at Yonge in the Express. The left lane is blocked. It's slow from Leslie Express and Collectors, although the Collectors are in a bit better shape. It's also slow in the west end from here, Ontario, to west of Mavis. Northbound Don Valley Parkway north of Don Mills, the right lane is still blocked with a stalled vehicle. A tow is on scene, and it's heavy from approaching Don Mills to north of it and from Eglinton to York Mills. Also, we had a collision on the southbound 404, the southbound Don Valley Parkway, just approaching Eglinton. It was blocking the ramp lane, which is quite snow covered. That is just cleared out of the way, but it's still slow from the 401 to approaching Eglinton. Westbound Gardner delays DVP to west of Cherry. On the westbound QEW at the 403 in Oakville, a stalled vehicle in the right lane. Eastbound QEW approaching Southdown, we have the two left lane blocked of the collision. It's slow from Winston Churchill, and there was a spun out vehicle southbound 427 approaching Dundas in the Collectors. It's over on the shoulder. Saving for retirement doesn't have to be scary. Talk to an advisor at Alterna Savings about the best plan for you. Visit alterna.ca to book an appointment. Alterna Savings, discover the good in banking. Your next report is at 5:31, and now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Right now we're seeing light to moderate snow across the GTA. It's pretty much going to be the story for the next couple of hours. One of the other things you're going to want to watch out for is the wind. We're continuing to see wind gusts anywhere between 30 to about 50 kilometers per hour, and that is going to blow any snow in around on the roads as well as sidewalks. That is the reason why we continue to have a snowfall warning for the entire GTA. We could end up seeing about another 10 to 15 centimeters fall across the GTA, and that's going to continue to reduce visibilities. One of the other things that we could see tonight also is some warmer air move over the city of Toronto. Right now there is some warmer air over Buffalo right now, and if that warmer air moves into our area, we could end up seeing some rain showers, and that will likely provide some mushiness in and around the GTA. Tomorrow we're going to see some lake effect flurries throughout parts of the GTA, so we could end up getting anywhere between another 2 to 5 centimeters. We'll see temperatures around +1 in the morning, going down to -6 by the afternoon. It's -1 at Pearson. Overnight low is -5.
Winston Churchill. Eastbound Gardner, not too bad. On the southbound 410 ramp to eastbound Derry, a stalled vehicle is blocking the right lane. And eastbound Kingston Road is blocked at Bellamy because of a spun-out bus. 407 ETR drivers say they save 20 to 60 minutes per trip. 407 ETR manages traffic for an excellent driving experience. Visit 407etr.com. Your next report is at 5:41. And now with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
Well, Christine, right now we're seeing some pretty light to moderate showers moving across the GTA. There are snow showers, but later on tonight, we are watching a pocket of some warm air that's moving across the Niagara region, and it could end up impacting either Mississauga or the city of Toronto. And basically what that means is as we see the temperature go above freezing, we could see some of these flurries as well as light snow showers turn into some rain showers, and that's going to end up making things very slick in around the GTA. We will also continue to see winds gusting up to about 70 kilometers per hour overnight. Right now at Pearson, it's -1. Our overnight low is -5.
680 news time, 5:33.
Like a real-life snow globe, and while it looks pretty, it's causing all sorts of problems in the GTA. Southern Ontario continues to be under a snowfall warning as this winter wallop leaves its mark. It's a slow go on the roads, and expect the clearing to continue well into tomorrow.
The Extreme Weather Center is open. It's brought to you by Subaru. Confidence in motion. 680's Michelle Mackey has more.
By the day's end, the GTA expecting 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. North of the city, higher amounts. And as 680 meteorologist Jason Fraser tells us, southeasterly winds will be gusting up to 60 kilometers an hour.
And once you factor in that wind, that could make total visibilities around the region go from about 1 to maybe about 2 kilometers to upwards of just 0.
For those who need to be on the road, traffic reporter Christine Lango says along with being wary of hills, bridges, and overpasses,
Give yourself lots of extra time to get to your destination. Drive cautiously, check your speed, make sure there's a lot of room for yourself and other motorists, so definitely keep some distance. Keep your full headlight system on so that you can see and be seen.
air travel has also been problematic. Toronto Pearson reminding flyers to check the status of their flights. I'm Michelle Mackey.
And while we're expecting up to 20 centimeters of snow, it's a whole lot worse in Newfoundland, where the federal government has approved military help after a record-smashing blizzard. Roads are blocked and things far from normal. Newfoundland Labrador Premier Dwight Ball says medical help is desperately needed.
So we have a real issue right now with people who are on dialysis and getting access to the hospital. So that's a big priority. You also have chemo patients who need to get in and out of that hospital in St. John's. And as well, you've had workers in that hospital, some of whom have been gone now for about 36, 38 hours, and they need to be relieved. So we need to get professionals back into the hospital as well.
People are digging out for more than 70 centimeters of snow, and when combined with hurricane force winds, some snow drifts are almost reaching rooftops.
680 news time, 5:36. Happening now, police say numerous TTC buses and cars remain stuck on a hill in the Davenport and Bathurst area. Officers say people have exited their vehicles and are attempting to push them off the roadway. People calling into our newsroom reporting delays of up to an hour, some even longer than that. Police are urging you to remain in your vehicle if that happens.
680 news time, 5:36. Harry and Meghan are out as working members of the royal family. Both the palace and the Queen issuing statements earlier today. 680's Meg Black has more. The couple will no longer use their royal weather together on the ones. Here's Christine Langos.
This report is brought to you by Greater Toronto Airport Authority. Unfortunately, a lot of motorists don't have their winter tires on today. That's what I'm hearing from some traffic spotters. And those are the ones that are spun out at intersections, etc. So definitely be sure you're prepared for the weather that's to come. This is only January, people. Eastbound 401 is slow from Yonge off and on to Nielsen Road, alternately express and collectors. And on the westbound 401 at Brock Road in the collectors, problems have been cleared away. The ramp here has been reopened as well. However, we still have a crash westbound 401 at Yonge in the express. In this case, the left lane is blocked and tows are on scene. On the northbound Don Valley Parkway north of Don Mills, a stalled vehicle is blocking off the right lane. It's been here for quite a while. And right now, northbound Don Valley 404 is slow from north of Bloor to York Mills from Highway 7th to about 16th Avenue. Southbound 404 Don Valley slows from the 401 to south of Lawrence, approaching Don Mills to south of it. Westbound Gardner is slowed down from Cherry to west of Jarvis. On the westbound QEW at the 403 in Oakville, we had a stalled vehicle in the right lane, not causing a big delay for you. A volume is getting lighter by the moment. Eastbound QEW is slow from Bronte to east of 3rd Line, and problems have cleared from the eastbound QEW approaching southbound, but still heavy from approaching Winston Churchill. And there's a stalled vehicle on the southbound 410 route to eastbound Derry. The right lane is blocked off, and many areas where we have vehicles stuck on hills. For instance, northbound Dufferin approaching DuPont, that's a very steep drive. Eastbound Major Mackenzie approaching Islington. Eastbound King approaching Weston. Northbound Bathurst north of Davenport is an issue, as is Northbound Avenue Road approaching St. Clair. And there's a spun out bus blocking eastbound Kingston Road at Bellamy. Have you heard of the Union Station West Transit Hub? It could save you time, reduce your carbon footprint, and beat the traffic. Details at unionstationwest.ca. Your next report is at 5:51. And now with the forecast, here is Jason Fraser.
Well, Christine, we will continue to see a number of slick spots in and around the GTA, and that is because as the afternoon and evening wears on, we will continue to see some snow. It could be heavy at times, and the closer you are to the city of Toronto, the greater the likelihood that you have of increasing the amount of some rain showers that you might end up seeing. I'm starting to see some much warmer air move across the Niagara region, and that is going...
News Time, 6:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Good evening, Craig Gear.
Cam, Eden, is it a good evening?
It might be. It's not bad. I mean, my drive-in was okay, but we have a lot of stalled buses and vehicles, especially on hills right now. This report brought to you by Queen's Smith MBA in Toronto. So it's just really hard to pinpoint where it is slowest. I mean, it is slow everywhere. You're not up to highway speeds, definitely. Eastbound 401 James Snow to Trafalgar, and it looks to be heavier than normal, even despite the snow here, from the 427 to Weston in the Express. And then we have a crash that's blocking the Express ramp onto the northbound 404. We have some lanes blocked here, and it's very, very slow if you're in the Express trying to get onto the 404. From the eastbound 401 tonight, do it from the collectors for the time being. On the westbound 401, slowest here, Ontario, and the collectors to west of Mavis, but again, it's slow everywhere. We have a stalled vehicle on the northbound DVP north of Don Mills. The right lane is blocked, and it's also slow Lawrence right up to the 401. Southbound 404 DVP busy from the 401 to south of Lawrence, and then as you approach Don Mills to just south of it. Onto the westbound Gardner, it's really not too bad. Onto the westbound QEW, slowest Burloak to Guelph line. Eastbound QE Bronte to east of 3rd, and it's bunching up, approaching south down to here, Ontario. Lots of plows out there, so if you are stuck in a slowdown, that could be the reason as well. Southbound 410, ramp to eastbound Derry. The right lane is blocked here with a stalled vehicle. We do have tows on the scene. Hearing of a TTC bus stuck on the CN tracks at Progress Avenue and William Kitchen Road. We have some other vehicles stuck on hills too, like northbound Bathurst, just north of Davenport. That seems to be a big problem area right now. And just every hill is going to be slower than normal, so keep that in mind. Earn your MBA from Queen's Smith School of Business right here in Toronto. Find out more at smithmbaintoronto.com. Next report at 6:11 with the forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
Hey, it's actually Natasha Ramsahai, so I just came in. I thought I'd give Jason a break, but this is a great evening if you're tobogganing or making snowballs, but any accumulation out there right now is about to get compacted down because we've got some wet snow and even rain starting to mix in as temperatures continue to rise. We're at -1 now. We'll probably be up to 2 degrees by 9 p.m. with rain mixing in. It is straight rain, by the way, right now, Stony Creek to over to Niagara Falls. And then overnight tonight, we'll start to taper off some of this precipitation. So the worst of the snow is done, although it's still going. Tapering off overnight. Tomorrow morning, we start off at -2. Cold front then comes through. Temperatures falling through the day to -6, wind chill -14. Gusty northwest winds, and keep an eye out for lake effect snow. It'll be on and off through the day, but that means sudden whiteout conditions at times mixed with sunshine. Overnight tonight, we're dropping to -2 degrees by morning. It is currently -1 out at Pearson.
680 News Time, 6:04.
The Extreme Weather Center is brought to you by Air Transat. Vacation is calling. Saturday is winding down, but snow in the GTA showing no signs of stopping.
A snowfall warning is in effect for all of southern Ontario, with winter reminding us all who's boss this time of year. 680's Michelle Mackey reports.
With a total of 10 to 20 centimeters of snow expected by the day's end, the city of Toronto reminding residents there are 9,500 streets in Toronto, and expressways, main roads, and transit routes are cleared first, followed by neighborhood roads. Eric Holmes with the City of Toronto says drivers need to practice their patience.
We've got 200 salt trucks available to us, and all of our staff are available too. We've got about 1,500 workers, about 1,100 pieces of equipment in total.
680 meteorologist Jason Fraser says the storm will taper off through the overnight.
The snow will continue on and off again, and we'll also see the winds continue to gust up anywhere between 30 to 60 kilometers per hour.
Wind and snow means reduced visibility on the road. Good idea to just stay inside. I'm Michelle Mackey.
And you heard Michelle talk about the dangerous driving conditions, just how difficult it is to make sure every street is accounted for. Thankfully, we have Craig Gear at the traffic center, keeping an eye on all the major routes. He joins us live now. Craig.
A lot of stalled vehicles blocking lanes, especially on those hills as you're trying to travel over them. And a lot of TTC buses that are stalled out there too. So hearing of a new one at Progress and William Kitchen Road, that's just east of Kennedy. Hearing reports of a stalled bus
bus blocking the CN tracks, so it's stopping trains as well. Lots of vehicles being stuck on hills like northbound Bathurst, just north of Davenport. That's a big one. Avenue northbound as you approach St. Clair, that is slow. Northbound Bayview extension just north of Pottery, we have a stalled vehicle blocking some lanes. We have a spun out bus blocking eastbound lanes at Kingston and Bellamy, and also Finch at Willowdale. We have some lanes blocked here. This vehicle actually took some hydro wires down, so Toronto Police asking you just to avoid the area and obviously don't touch these wires. Just very slow conditions, and the hills are a problem. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Craig. 680 News Time, 6:07. It could be worse. The Canadian Armed Forces have been called in to help Newfoundland and Labrador dig out from a record-breaking blizzard. 680's James Mackin reports.
The federal government approved sending the military to assist the people of Newfoundland following a record-smashing blizzard, says Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness Minister Bill Blair. Several communities are dealing with 75 centimeters of snow. That's almost 2.5 feet of snow, with some communities reporting even more. While the blizzard warning covering most of eastern Newfoundland has ended, power is still out for several communities, including parts of St. John's. Wind gusts have been in excess of 120 kilometers per hour at its worst, but according to Weather Network meteorologist Chris Murphy, the people of St. John's can handle it.
St. John's and blizzards go together like salt and pepper, and even battle-hardened veterans are saying this is something special.
Sunday will bring more snow to Newfoundland's capital, but hopefully the people will persevere. I'm James Mackin.
680 News Time, 6:07.